Well, welcome everybody. Glad you can make it. Glad you could all be here. This is Crake and Bakes, coming from our starter little house. And today's a pretty exciting day because today I've decided it's time we go ahead and get going on my idea for my little show. I definitely know what I'm doing. So for those of you who have been watching already for the first couple episodes, you know that my general plan is to have some mystery themes. And essentially every time that I die, we would start in on a new theme. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that, which means unfortunately it is time to say goodbye to this little starting place we got going. However, we do still have to build kind of the staging area, so we'll have a little bit more time here before we set off. Now, unfortunately, as I was getting the last couple of preparation steps ready before starting the show, we were visited by a creeper. And frankly, I just can't leave this place knowing that there's this big old creeper hole and a couple of chunks taken out of our walls, so we'll start out by fixing that, because you know, even though we're going to be leaving, we don't want to have everything all left untidy. And I was trying to be so good about creepers too, but they just, they have their way of sneaking up on you. Alright, we'll need a little bit of wood to fix this. So as you may remember, this starting area we have kind of set up as a in-betweens place. So between each of my runs, each of my themes, this will be kind of our base we're able to revisit. Oh, one block. Simply cannot be left undone. So we'll be leaving kind of this area as a place for us to come back to. And I was thinking today that it would be kind of nice to even in between each run that I would maybe spend 1 or 2 episodes back here kind of re-improving, just so that we kind of have the fun of coming back to this place and are able to kind of keep revamping, redecorating it. Oh, I had a glass window there, that was it. But revamping, redecorating it as we kind of continue to progress and get better with things. Let's see, where did I put my glass? Maybe I used it all. That's cobblestone. Well, we might just be short one window. Smooth stone, yep. Well, we don't want to, spend too much time there, but, alright, let's see then. Oh, and we gotta put my flowers back up, because I had some nice flowers. And let's see, we'll put one there. One there. That there. That looks kind of nice. Okay. So this has been our fun little starting place, and again, we'll definitely be back, but it's time to kind of move on. So before I get going too fast, we'll just show off kind of where we're going to be working today. So it's off over in this direction. I did track down our X of 0, Z of 0. So more or less the world spawn point. Pretty close to it right there. And so essentially the idea is that should we ever die without having a more local spawn point available, this will be kind of where we come to. And probably even between sessions I'll just make it where that I more as a fast travel back that we would just spawn here. So we kind of want a nice area all set up. And then over here is our special chest. This is where I have already crafted up our ideas from suggestions from viewers from past streams, as well as some ideas I'd already had. And we're going to use this to find out what we're going to build around next. So essentially we'll have this little area will be our our spawn and restart zone. And then of course back over here will be our beginning town. I haven't quite settled on a name. I like a couple of names like Beginnersburg or Spawn Town. We'll probably give it a name at some point. Hopefully not too soon though, because hopefully we'll live long enough to not need it that soon. Now I don't know how many of you have ever played the game Chrono Trigger, but that's kind of what I have as in my head is what I want that area to look like. So there's the place in between time where you kind of go between as you move throughout the game. So we're going to kind of make it look a little bit like that, which thankfully, with the idea I have for building it, that'll require a lot of cobblestone. And actually I should put some armor back on, get some last uses out of this just in case we have any more surprise creepers. Alright, so we'll get some cobblestone. Don't really know how much of that we'll need. We'll want those slabs. And then I'll want a crafting bench. I think I'll just make a brand new one because it'd be kind of nice to just have a crafting bench already over there. So there we go. Drop that off. Aha. Oh, and of course it's getting dark. Don't need to deal with any more creepers, so we'll just take care of that quick. Alright. Oh, and I forgot I wanted to have some colored wool for our target point of our exact spawn. See how regularly we can get right on the target when we do come back. Now, a couple of extra amenities I'm thinking of including with all of this is having perhaps some railroads or other road type systems just to help connect everything, but that's all things I'll kind of develop, and also list some of my rules out that I'm planning to work under during this. Which by all means are subject to change as much as I want, since, you know, it's my show. Alright, so we've kind of got our landing platform there. Hopefully we'll end up right on the center area, but, you know, really we can spawn anywhere around the spawn point. And then a little bit of cobblestone just to kind of make it seem, you know, a little bit like a platform here. Wait a second, do I have a shovel on me? Nope. Should probably make a shovel quick. There. Go a little bit faster. Don't need that. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody who's on right now. Hopefully you've been having a pretty good day today so far. It's pretty nice out there. Definitely getting a little hot though, so seemed like a good time to get in a little bit of work here on our world. All right. As I'd mentioned, I am going to be using probably about 50% my ideas and then 50% ideas that people had suggested already for themes for me to build around. By all means, though, continue to feel free to suggest themes in either the comments, well, I guess the comments. But as we continue to go, I every now and again will be refilling and kind of based on themes that I think I can work around or build upon. I'll add them to our mystery chest. Okay, so that's a pretty nice little kind of little area here. Let's see, I would like, yeah, let's get some walls going. Just a little extra decoration we can get off of that. Maybe make some corners off of it. Just kind of close it in a little bit, make it seem a little bit more official. And part of my grand scheme too is that as we continue to move on from place to place, this will kind of also continue to develop and grow as we bring back souvenirs from our different themes that we have. Do I like that? Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Not completely closed off, but just kind of more of a staging area here. And of course it'll lead down over to here, which I think for this we'll do some of our slabs just to kind of give it a little bit of a lower, there we go. A little bit more of a 3-dimension here. Oh, what am I doing? Oop. Well, they went further than I honestly expected they would, so now we gotta make up some more slabs. How far did I go? I think I left, yep, one gap over there. Alright, can get rid of this block now that we're going to actually, based on my build idea, we're going to need that to be a little lower. Probably shouldn't be using very shiny just for cobblestone here. And you'll see in a second, so I guess we're kind of more, we'll just kind of go down one level at a time then, I guess kind of make some steps. Continue to dig out this area just a little bit. We don't need a very large area, but we do need a little bit to stage things out. Alright, so we'll have our layer of slabs. Let's see. So, to kind of, again, give it a little bit of a step down depth, we'll, whoops, just put some regular stones right here. And go ahead and get our slabs going again there. Yeah, that should work. Because that needs to ultimately be about 2 blocks. Yes, I think that'll work. So kind of guiding us down and centering us on. You may notice the chest is actually a little off-center because what I actually have as my centerpiece should be going right here. So we'll go ahead and continue to build this out a little bit, kind of making a little fishbowl, I guess. And let's see, this is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, and then we can kind of start to build up around it, I suppose. Well, no, we'll have it go back just a little bit. because we are going to have a couple of our aforementioned souvenirs sitting kind of around it. We'll also have some rules posted just for ease of access and explanation. Alright, let's see. And actually, we'll go ahead and do this, just to kind of unify the way it looks a little bit. Alright, I like that, and then so we got 1, 2, 3. Let's go back maybe another 3. I think that'll get what I want. 2 and 3. Might have to terraform around it a little bit, but that's probably something that we could maybe save for another time, because frankly I'd like to really make sure we get into our meat and potatoes by the end of things. Okay. Get out our slabs, and then I think that'll make our staging area. Oops. And then just for a little bit of decoration, we'll put these up again in the corners. And maybe something like that. Something like that. Really should have brought my bed out over this way. Well, you know what? To be uniform, I guess we'll do 2 and 2. And kind of have it a little bit more open right in the middle. Alright, I think that's a pretty good start to things. Which I will probably need some more wood then for the next parts. I think that sets up a pretty good little staging area. Oh, and we're going to need some iron because we'll want to have it lit up a little bit with some lanterns and things. Alright, keep the creepers away. Then we'll find that iron. Yeah, this should do it. So we'll chop some trees down quick, get some wood going. Because we're going to just need a few more planks. Going to have some signs, again, kind of showing off our rules and plans. And there goes the axe. That's alright, we shouldn't need it for a little while. I better go get this stray piece of cobblestone that's just going to bug me if it keeps sitting back there. There. All better. Get some free sticks, some free saplings. Oh, got a lot of saplings. Alright, that's plenty. Replant these for when we return, and hopefully not for a little while. Okay, that should take care of that. Have a little snack on our way over. Hey, little sheep buddy. Alright, so we've got kind of this area built up. So next, let's make some lanterns. Oh, that's right, I don't have enough iron nuggets. Let's see, that gives me 3 so far. Probably gonna want a few of those, so... Alright, let's see where that gets us. Get these lanterns going, just so there's... I think just the corners will be kind of nice, just to give it a little bit of even light. Guess we're gonna be 1 shy. Probably should have seen that coming when I, made 7 of them. Back this up just a teensy bit. Kind of recurve it in just to keep some of the natural terraining going. There. Oops. Get rid of some of this grass. Don't need all this tall grass up around our area. And I should probably put a couple of slabs just kind of along this stretch, just to again give it a little bit of a step appearance. Make it a little easier getting in and out of this zone. Oops. Ah. Just terrible placement skills. Thankfully, that's something that should get fixed relatively soon. Okay. I like it. Get a couple more lanterns out just to finish putting the edges in. Yeah, I think one here, and then we'll put one on that side too. Just to be nice and uniform. But we will need some more of these, and then there we go. Okay. Get rid of these placeholders. So there. When we respawn from a fresh death, hopefully we'll have kind of this nice little landing platform to come to. And then over here now we'll kind of build up our rules station. So we'll need a few of these. Make a little wall to set up over here. Oop, raining. Oh right, these are slabs, so there. And I think that should be a nice little height. Yeah. Then we're going to need some signs. So that's a bunch of those in just one stick for 3. That might do it. Okay. And that's probably just fine. Alright, so we'll keep our rules up here just so we remember what's going on. Which I'm actually going to need to pull up my list just so I don't accidentally forget any. So, every time you die, the current theme is complete. So essentially, we'll continue working in whatever theme we start in until dying, and then have to start that over. That way we kind of keep things fresh and moving along. Which currently I have the difficulty set to normal because I'd like to have each theme last for, give or take a month at a minimum. Hopefully no more than, 9 months or so. We'll kind of see how it all works out. If I am dying too frequently, we might have to ease up on the difficulty. Hopefully I won't be that poor at this, but if I am also not dying very often, then we might increase the difficulty. We'll just kind of see how that goes. And then you can't take it with you. So essentially, every time we restart, all of our items will just be left behind at that theme, with a couple of exceptions. And those exceptions are going to be more or less the things that are very hard to get. So beacons, I figured we don't need to grind for a beacon all the time, and getting some of the accomplishment of finding a beacon will be a benefit for the next time. With that also go mob heads, since again, very difficult and generally more or less aesthetic, but they will help with getting future beacons. Also records, since those are kind of rare and, hard to find the one you want exactly, so we'll again say that that's kind of an accomplishment of you get to keep those from play to play. And then the Elytra, which this one I'm not sure whether or not I'll keep. It's more that I just figure that could be a good reward that can be given for certain achievements, which I haven't decided exactly how those rules will work, but we haven't really had to worry about it yet. Oops. And then a theme does not start until the theme block is placed. So essentially I will have a block with the current theme that will be placed at the start of each area. However, since I'll more or less be going out with no equipment to begin with, I don't want to just, get hit by something stray along the way, and then have to restart before we really get into it. So it won't begin officially until we kind of place that theme block, which will show what that looks like in a little bit. And then the last rule for now, starting items include, oops, the theme block and a bed. Now with that, and I suppose I should put some quotes around this because the theme block is actually multiple items all in combination. So essentially the idea is we will be more or less completely restarting. Based on the theme, I may or may not give myself something aesthetic to bring along with. But again, we'll kind of play with that as we go. Alright, so those are our starting rules. I may or may not change these at any time, kind of depending on how the play seems to be going. We're still kind of experimenting a little bit. I should put that in the center. What was I thinking? Definitely know what I'm doing. Can't even put things in the center. Alright. So we are good there. So we might get some more sub-rules going at some point, add on extra rules, edit some of these rules. We'll kind of see how it all goes. But I know I'm excited to kind of follow this to at least to begin with, and we'll play around with it all. Oops. Alright. So now we are going to need another chest. I don't have enough blanks for a chest, do I? Alright, a chest. And you know what? I like a red bed. That seems like a good starting point. So here under our starting items, oops, we will have our starting chest. So each time we'll include what we're allowed to begin with. So that will be our block of gold. I knew we'd find some use for that gold. We'll have an item frame for putting our theme onto, and then our bed. So that'll be kind of our spawn point for our beginning areas. I figured it doesn't hurt to have a bed with, especially since we never know whether or not we'll find sheep in the area we're generally working in. So it may be very difficult to get to bed. So that'll just kind of help with some unnecessary grief from mobs. Okay. I believe then that kind of creates the area. So let's move this crafting table over. I guess we can stick it over right here next to the chest. And then now we can create what hopefully will work for giving us our random quests. Alright, so we'll rush back to our base. And this is where it's going to start getting exciting, at least hopefully everyone's as excited about it as I am. Because we are about to find out what we are going to embark on as our first quest. We'll have to make sure we get plenty of colorful sheep down the line, because boy, I just love coming out and seeing these guys hanging out here. Okay. So we will need then to get a change around of items. So we don't need all this stone anymore. I did not need nearly as many slabs as I ended up making. Oh well, you learn and you live and you learn there. We'll tuck away very shiny. It's definitely going to be one of the hard parts about changing themes all the time, is that I always get a little attached to some of my good tools there, so a little hard to say goodbye from each one, but so it goes. Okay. Drop off our saplings and our torches. Boy, we've already got too much stuff for the storage space that we have. Oh, and I suppose I gotta take off my armor. Oof. Hopefully no more creepers in the meantime. Oh, I gotta get rid of my chicken even. Drop all this off here for when we inevitably come back. And actually, let's see, I will need some cobblestone. How do I make a compass again? Oh, glowing item frames. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, glowing ink sacs, that makes sense. Fortunately, I do not have any of those. Alright, a compass is just iron and redstone. So let's see, we will make one more sign. And then I need to go grab my redstone. Get plenty of that. Got, I think, all of my current iron. Alright, so we'll get one compass. Oh, and I don't have any paper right now, because we are going to try to make a map of our beginning area. Oh, if I'm going to fight any mobs this episode, I mean, most likely we'll come across some mobs at some point. Alright. That's just... Oh, yep, that's right, because I don't have any paper made yet. Is that enough? I guess that wasn't enough. There we go. Now we've got an empty map. And... nice. So there is our beginning zone. Whatever we want to call it. And yeah, it looks nice and fun with their little farmstead going, their little sheepies. So we'll save this and bring it on back to where we were, which means we're going to need an item frame, doesn't it? Which means I'm going to need to grab... what am I missing? I've got planks, I've got sticks. Oh, I just need a lot more sticks. There we go. Alright, so we'll put up our beginning map. And then we will now need... oh, let's see, I've got my bow, I've got cobblestone. What am I missing? Got a dropper, but I want to make a dispenser. Bow, redstone, and cobblestone. So theoretically... okay, yep, there we go. Alright, we've got a dispenser, and then we're going to need a hopper, which is one chest that I'm missing. Oh, no wonder, I'm all out of planks again. I guess that's our theme of this episode, is I can't remember to make enough planks for things. Alright, one chest, and then one hopper. Okay. And now, we can go and drop everything off, because we no longer have a right to it. All these resources we spent all this time getting, and just gotta leave it all behind now. But that's the fun of the adventure of it. Drop off our paper. Still gotta be organized for when we do make our way back. Let's see, we're gonna get one sign. Cook chicken. Yeah, sticks I guess will go there. And we might need a couple of slabs, so I guess I'll just bring those along with just in case. Alright. Before any adventure, it's always a good idea to rest up. Oh, and actually, I forgot one more thing we'll need. We will need to be able to make a button. Don't tell me I don't know how to make a button, even. Oh, you need regular stone? Well, I guess we'll make a lever to begin with. Alright, here we go. This should do it. Our final steps are finally ready. Oh, there's a creeper. Oh boy, and he's coming in fast. Yup. Hoop. Hoop. I guess we are fighting a mob right now. And not very smart Willy here, because creepers by hand are never something that's going to work out great. That's what I get for getting rid of all my stuff. Come on. As long as you're not by our staging area or our home base, I don't really care if you blow up. Boy, they take a lot of hits without a sword. Oh, there we go. Well, I tried. Hey, coal. Oh, for crying out loud. I guess we'll just lure this one over and let it blow up by us. Make sure it's in an area where it won't cause too much of an issue. Whew. Alright. Might fill in those creeper holes someday. Now, if I have any clue of what I'm doing, which I probably don't. So if we come around, well, we'll do this. I know how to do this part for sure. Come around, get our world map area ready to go a little bit. And I guess we'll call it Beginningsburg for now. But who knows, maybe we'll rename our starting town at some point. Plop out the sign and the map, and there we go. A nice little shot of our favorite little beginning spot. And then if we do a little crouch, sneak our hopper right there. Actually, I should have thought of this a little bit better, but alright. So now if we stick... Oops. Oh, hey, it already filled up. That's pretty nice. We stick our dispenser... That won't let me... We're going to need that there anyways. There we go. Alright. So theoretically... I bet because this wasn't placed when I put that down. I bet that's what happened. Let's see then. We'll get rid of this. Oops. Yep, should have seen that coming, since all the items were in there. There we go. And it's feeding into the hopper, so I think that's a good sign. And the dispenser is filled up. All right. Pop back over so you guys can see the mess I had to make in order to get this to work, but should be hopefully worth it for the little bit of extra mystery it provides. I'll have to clean those up too. Okay. Moment of truth is coming. Gonna find out what our first theme is with our very high-tech contraption here. And plop a lever, whoops, on it, and drop off our items that we no longer are allowed. I guess we can stick them in here. And finally, the moment of truth. Hopefully this works. Hey! And so, drum roll, our starting theme, pirates. All right. Well, hopefully everyone enjoys that. We'll get very nautically themed. That was actually one of the ones I figured would be an easier one to start with, since I already have a landing zone kind of planned out. So here we go. Now I do have a special, there we go, special pirate skin. So we're gonna again do a quick change around and see if I can get this to work. All right, so this will be pretty fun. I've got some definite ideas on how to kind of set up a piratey zone. Just changing my clothes here quick. Getting all nice and nautically appeared. I hope everyone else is pretty excited about pirates. It's a fairly standard theme, but I think it should be pretty easy to get some fun builds off of. I've got some ideas on how we can continue to grow off of it. All right, and this is already a good sign. Yahar. Well, welcome to the now pirate-themed adventure of I Definitely Know What I'm Doing. So now that we've got our theme all mapped out, we can move on to bigger and better things. So let's move back to our viewpoint and go grab our starting blocks. So we got to get our gold, which is going to be highly sought after going forward, and our nice red bed. And then head off for the sea. Which, from some of my earlier explorations, I know the ocean is off in this direction. Goodbye, Beginnersburg. Hopefully we don't see you for a while. And here we go, a nice oceany area. Very nice and peaceful. So of course, for being pirates, we gotta have a ship. So I better go punch some trees, find some nice wood, make us a little dinghy until we can build ourselves a proper ship. I think dinghy is the correct term. I don't actually know a lot about boats, but, you know, that's alright. Alright, and actually it's getting a little dark. We might need to be keeping an eye out for some things. Maybe dig a little hole and sleep the night away quick. Well, that didn't work out so well. Alright, is this big enough for a bed? I hope so. Guess we'll have to keep digging a little bit more. Uh-oh. Our cover has been broken. There we go. too early to have to deal with any mobs just yet, so fortunately just gotta hide in holes for the first couple of nights, but hopefully we'll have a little bit of a safer place to live in not too long from now. All right. Well, here we go. Getting our wood nice and the fun way of just punching it. Ooh, hey, there's some better trees, or some not better trees, but some other trees than just oak. Could go for some white. I forget if it's a birch tree or what do they call the white ones. Yep, birch logs. Nice. I think that could actually be kind of a good look, a little bit different than just the oak we've been having. At least for my dinghy. Alright, so we got a little bit of wood to start out with, so we'll get our crafting table made up. So oops. I gotta punch this again. Way to go there. Alright, so now we can get a couple of sticks. Let's see. Just gonna need a bunch of planks, aren't I? A couple more sticks. Get a couple of weapons to start out with. Nice wooden sword for our piratey folk. Wooden axe wouldn't be too bad. And now we'll get some birch planks going so we can get a birch boat. There we go. Alright, I chopped this tree down. Yeah, might as well collect some supplies from it. Never a bad idea to get some more sticks and some saplings. Alright, here we go. Sailing around. The open water's calling to me and my salty bones. Actually, this is quite the expanse of water here. Pretty good for having a piratey space built into. Wow, yeah, this is quite the expanse. I do kind of want to be off of shore a little bit, though, for the pirate theme anyway, so I think what we will do is head in towards, if we can find more of an alcove. Because what I kind of envision is having kind of a seaport, and then our pirate ship is... Well, speaking of pirates, what do we have here? Looks like we maybe got a shipwreck. Which actually, this might even be... I know I'd come across a shipwreck earlier. When I'd been doing some of my first streams. Yep, I guess this is just the area I've already been at, because this chest is plundered. Yarr. Quite unfortunate, but that's actually kind of fun to think of as a little bit of a scene we can work off of. So if there's already a sunken ship, we could maybe... Well, I would like to marry the sea at some point as a captain, so I might take you up on that offer. But as I was saying, this could be kind of a good scene, having like a shipwreck there, maybe building a couple other ships that are in combat with each other, and then having like a little town or something off in the distance. Yeah, I'm liking it. Alright, so this is where we're going to try and start things off then. Oh, hey, some fish. So I think what we'll do is we'll use this town as, or this little land area as our beginning town. Kind of going off into the ocean, and then have a couple of ships off over that way. Kind of creating our scene that in that fashion. So I better place my my starting block, which will officially launch off this area. And actually, I think we'll put that starting block on our shipwreck. So we've got our gold block right there, our item frame, and bam, pirates. Alright, it's official. If I die, we all start over. Let's see how long we can go without having that happen, though. And I will stand right here quick and double check what our coordinates are. So we are at... Let me just take a quick note of this, because we will eventually want to find our way back here after leaving. So we've got an X of 287, a Y of 64, and a Z of 272. Alright, excellent. So now we've taken note of our coordinates, we can begin going official. Which we are about an hour in, so I'll probably go a little bit longer, start building some of our rudimentary points, and then we'll probably call it a day. We'll head back though. So I would like to ultimately have my base be a pirate ship out in the water. Unfortunately, that will take a little bit of building and supply gathering. So we will start out by just kind of working in the town. So maybe we'll have our safe harbor as our very beginning base. Oh, and I think I hear my dog off in the distance, if anyone's hearing some whining. So let's see here. Clear a couple of trees. I should probably kill that pig at some point, because I'm getting pretty low on the food bar. It's always the issue with the early game. Do you kill the pig for the fast meal, or do you try to save it and find another one so that you have continued food? We are right off of the ocean though, so we can have fish as a pretty plentiful food source. Farewell, pig. Wait, not that farewell. Get back here. Haha. Alright. So we will start our little shop right here. Get some more planks. Build up our little starting safe harbor house. Nothing too big or fancy to begin with, because frankly we don't have the resources for that at the moment, but as always we continue to get more, continue to improve, and hopefully it all gets nice and fancy. Yeah, probably better put in a door there. Just a little shack really that we're gonna have to live out of to begin with. I think I might even just make it 2 blocks high, just so it really feels like kind of a cramped shack of a place. After all, we are just starting out in our pirate journey. We're not very well equipped just yet, so let's see. Let's go for a birch door, actually. That sounds That sounds a little nicer, a little fancier maybe. Maybe that's too fancy, I don't know. And then we'll need some slabs. Oops. Ah. A lot more slabs. Don't want the creepers getting in. I find it interesting that creepers are essentially the only mob that I ever am actually worried about. They are kind of the most annoying ones, though, so... I feel like the other mobs you have a better chance of getting around. Alright, we'll place our bed, and that will finish our starting base for our piratey zone. We'll need a chest for our pirate booty, but unfortunately we really don't have any yet, so... we'll just take care of that when we get that far. Alright. Well, it is a lovely, lovely fresh morning out here in our nice oceany land. I've got my little shack and my little dinghy. Let's try and see about getting a little bit more resources and get some stone. We're gonna need a lot of wood, so if we're gonna build some seaworthy ships out here. Which frankly then means I'm probably gonna wanna get an axe going. Alright. And we're probably gonna wanna clear out a lot of this area in the long run, but oh, I don't know. Probably back here is as good a spot as any to have a little mine. A lot of the... oop, there's a zombie off over there. A lot of the old nautical areas, you know, had industry that they were attached to. You know, the town was usually built around a mine, so that could be kind of our story of... there we go. Of what the town is on the shore that we're by is maybe a little bit of a mining town. Build up a little bit of industry around it, and then obviously we'll have to plunder all that industry we build up. Alright, we'll start digging right here. Seems as good a spot as any. And already we're finding some stone, so that's good. Now, I know personally I'm pretty happy about the pirate theme, but what are some other people's thoughts? What are some things you'd like to see happening with the pirates in the long run? Or maybe you had another theme you're really cheering for and want to make sure it gets included. Definitely let me know how you're feeling about all that in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to keep digging for a little while. Oh, come on. Now I'm stuck. Make kind of a nice little cave entrance, a little wider than normal. You know, that is a good point, how pretty much every town in Minecraft is a mining town. I suppose every town is also a crafting town. Probably not a whole lot of variation in the economic systems amongst the Minecraft worlds. Alright, we got a little bit of stone now, so we can build up our furnace. Our first furnace. Cook up this pork that we got. Well, I don't have a bucket of lava. Alright, about time we got some food going, because frankly, I am hungry. Hey, yeah, Mario's not a bad theme. Oop, there we go. And speaking of losing an eye and a leg, I mean, you may notice I've definitely, with my piratey garb, I've got my peg leg going and my one eye patch, so definitely there's been a little bit of issues, but still, you know, I love the sea. I gotta, despite losing some limbs there, I gotta continue to pursue what you love, right? Alright, let's see then if we can get... Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get a booty chest, actually. Oops, what am I doing? You don't use a furnace for that. We don't have a lot, but we at least have some, so we'll get our chest, and there we go. Can drop off what we don't necessarily want to hold on to while we go getting our early resources here. Oh, good. Glad to hear that it's a hit with at least a couple of people. And actually, I just had a thought. There may or may not be... Is there a pirate language still? I feel like I remember that being one of the... Oh, let's see, we've got... Oh! What do you know? Pirates speak the seven seas. Well, of course, with the pirate theme, we're going to have to update our language pack. Danger level, usual. Spyglass, usual. Plundered. Return to the fight. Yep, this is gonna greatly improve it. My pickaxe o timber. My cutlass o timber. Hatchet o timber. Yep, this is gonna be a good theme already. I wonder what they call pork chops. Get over here, Piggly Wiggly. Raw pig meat. Ah, well, okay. I guess they aren't gonna all be the funniest of terms, but hey, this'll be pretty fun for this next little stretch here. Alright, so we're gonna keep going down into our mine then. Getting those early resources, finding some good stuff. Hopefully we can find some coal, because it'll be important to keep things nice and lit up. A little pond already. Let's see, where does this... Is this an underwater pond? Nope, it's just a regular kind that we ran into. Well, let's see. No, I guess we'll put some... Ha! Dirt is just filth. We'll put this right there. We'll close off, and right there we'll close off. And apparently that is not enough of the source water blocks. Might have to move our mine in a slightly different direction. So it appears we ran into a pond that's sitting right over here somewhere. Oh, yep, there it is. It looks like that's actually kind of going to continue that way. So maybe if we just dig a little deeper earlier on, it'll actually balance out. So move our mine entrance back a little ways. Hopefully that'll get us below the water levels. As a pirate, I never want to be taken on water, so gotta get our way out of that. Okay. And actually, one of the things I was thinking of doing while having once getting into the formal series was that during big mining sessions, doing kind of a topic talk. So by all means, if people think of things they'd like me to jabber on about down the road, they can certainly offer up suggestions. Otherwise, I'll just kind of ramble on whatever I've been working on or thinking about lately. So one of the things I figured I'd kind of talk about with this session was a book I recently got done reading. It's called A Bottle of Lies, and I believe the author was Catherine Eban. I think that's how you say that. Anyways, with this book, it is a investigative journal. Shoot, the water is just right here, isn't it? Well, we can say the mine got flooded. But an investigative, journalistic look into the generic drug market, and really going over some of the... Oh, hey, look at that. Well, don't want that to be how I die. Apparently there's just a magma block right there. As I was saying, it was a investigative look into the generic drug market, and I'm trying to remember when it started looking into things. It might have been... Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering the first dates, like early 2000s, when kind of there's a big expansion into international generic drug companies. So it follows specifically one drug company called Ranbaxy, and it was a Indian-based company where it kind of starts out. The original founder starting out with the kind of the altruistic goals of making cheap drugs for the entire world, but having them be still high quality, but affordable for essentially anyone around the world. Just this very, very good goal. And it kind of takes place after the company's been established for a while, and the company is really working on expanding out into the global market. They're hiring on all kinds of large staff, a lot of just well-trained, well-equipped individuals who've been in the drug industry for a while, and that's who the main voice the main individual we kind of follow through this is someone who had worked in the industry for a very long time. He had been trained at many companies. I believe he had worked in the United States and maybe a European country or two. Just very impressive repertoire. They bring him on. They bring lots of other people similarly trained as him, and over time, it ends up being where the sons inherit the company, and that's about the time where our main, not main character, but our main person, since it is a true journalistic investigation, where he first comes in, and things start out going great, and he finds over time though that there's various things being done at the company that he just truly isn't comfortable with, seeing them forging data and more or less doing whatever they can to save costs but look like they are still doing everything the right way. And so it continues in that manner. So really just kind of this investigative story looking at all of the ways that this company specifically, as the main character eventually becomes a whistleblower on this company, but other companies in kind of the international generic drug industry throughout India, throughout China, just all these places as they work around the system. It was just this very interesting approach. It as a pharmacist, you get trained to trust and believe in generic drugs and the process of approving generic drugs. But as the book continues to go and look into other things, you start to see that that's not frequently the case. The FDA, being a relatively small protective bureau for all the things that they look, especially as soon as they went to international, just their inability to keep up with all the investigations. So really just kind of some scary stories of how investigators just essentially couldn't keep up with these giant inflow of companies now allowed to release release drugs to markets around the world. I should really grab a crafting bench and just bring it along with. So yeah, just kind of very counter to what like I was saying, in pharmacist training, they kind of teach you that you can trust generics, that to be approved, it must meet all standards, it must pass all these tests and things, but really seeing that not being the case with just this suddenly high demand for cheap generics, but then also this high influx of companies that were almost impossible to actually watch, just with the sheer number of them and with the lack of increase in staffing. So anyone who really enjoys journalistic, investigative books, it was a very interesting read, and frankly a very disheartening one when seeing just the ways that the FDA either turned a blind eye to things because they just simply couldn't keep up with the pace of it, or that even see it, and I believe the statement is made on how for a lot of members of the FDA it's more of a revolving door for those members and moving on to essentially work for as lobbyists for whoever they were investigating earlier. You do see quite regularly throughout it that many of the members who are in the FDA end up going and working for these drug companies for places that had been, giving failing grades, and either they helped them find ways to work around this, or more or less schmooze up to people to get the grade lessened so that they could then re-release things out on the market. So I guess without spoiling too terrible much of the book for people who want to read, that was more or less the gist of that one. Very interesting, broad scope of many different companies, many different investigators, but very well narrated. Tells things from the perspective of more of these whistleblowers, and really from the human perspective of what them taking on these tasks of trying to alert people and alert the governments for the ultimate protection of international patients. Uh-oh, taking on water. I did not pick a good spot for this mine. But I really want this coal here. The book was called Bottle of Lies. And then it has a subtitle that I can't quite remember the full extent of. Something about a look into generic drugs. The book was originally portions of it were published in a New York Times article, if I remember correctly. And then the author, did a lot of investigation and eventually did write a full book around what she had found. There we go. Got that coal. Alright. So now we can keep going down again, especially now that we have some coal. We can actually lighten up our tunnels here a little bit. And since we are kind of making a little bit of a decorative mine, I figured having it be kind of more of a 3x3 would be nice. Since it's supposed to kind of fit into the story of, this was where the town went mining kind of thing. I don't think I'll go to the extent of decorating it, though, since with like cobblestone and falling down mine shafts, I don't feel like that needs to be that much of the narrative. It's really just kind of our early resource gathering, but we might as well make it a little bit pretty, right? Just getting kind of that nice rhythm of clearing out these, blocks little by little. And of course making sure it's nice and high up so that you aren't hitting your head as you're climbing things. I suppose I better put my sword back out just in case something decides to come up behind us. We do have an open mine entrance after all. And I would love to come across some iron across this initial stretch, but no promises that we'll quite get that far. But we've at least got some stone, so that's a nice early development. Gives us some slightly better tools. We really probably won't do a lot of underground mining for this particular theme that we're working in, since there's some more water. It's actually kind of fun that we keep coming across this water in our mine, since we are going to be more nautically themed, but yeah, most of it will actually be looking for various types of wood, since of course we are going to be building a lot of ships and then our seaside towns. Kind of have to keep adjusting where I'm digging around. I just love how dirt is called filth. Now that sounded ominous. I hope that's just because it's dark outside or something, and not that I'm coming across anything spooky. suppose if this mine went down into like a deep dark, that would be a little bit fitting too, but we're going to hope for that doesn't happen, because that is something I am definitely not equipped to take on. Ooh, hey, iron, there we go. Hopefully we can find a nice little iron shaft right here. Got at least 2 pieces. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That's a nice little bunch of starting iron right there. Well, good thing we got diverted by that water. It was just kind of pushing us right where we needed to go. The seas are magical that way. The water just guides you where you need to be. I'll have to think up more piratey things that I can say. Finally got to see Multiverse of Madness this past weekend here. Don't know who else has had a chance to see it, but it's nice to get a little bit more caught up on where all of that is at. Ooh, hey. There's some more of that. Nice, I can pick it up with just a regular axe. Davy Jones heat. Delightful. Alright, so there's a bunch of like magma blocks and things around here. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad sign or a neutral sign. Hopefully it's more neutral. I think I'm hearing water over that way. I guess we'll keep digging and see what happens. Oh. Actually appears that we're coming out into a little bit of a cave area. Nothing too overly exciting, but at least saves a little bit of digging around, I guess. Better mark our entrance, because it's easy to get lost in natural twisty turny spots like this. But yeah, anyways, Multiverse of Madness. Again, not sure who all's had a chance to see it, but it was pretty enjoyable. It was a lot like other Doctor Strange involving things, where you get all the different dimensional spinning, twisting, turning kind of things. A lot of very nice visual effects. As the name implies, had a lot of multiverse activity going on, which I feel like they played up fairly well. I mean, granted, you should probably have considered the latest Spider-Man to really be more of the second Doctor Strange movie for how much he was involved in that one, but that's alright. That's, I guess, how the phases are working these days, where everything's a team-up, not necessarily just a one-hero adventure anymore. Ooh, mining, digging this hole. Like to find just a little bit of more iron before our picks break. That'll kind of be our signal for getting to the end of this mining session, is when I finally get through these picks here, so I think I'll use that as kind of the point of when we turn back and go back more to doing surface things. Like again, I mentioned I'd be chopping a lot of trees down. Additionally, I think that that'll probably end up being where we call it a day with this current session, is once I get done with this mining stretch as the night's progressing on. But of course we gotta try and do what we can get this coal. Yeah, what do they call coal? Fuel. Wouldn't more of a whale oil be fuel at this era? Oh, here we go with the underwater again. I picked a terrible spot for a mine. I think that source block is the only... Yeah, there's nothing feeding into that. It's just one water block sitting right there. Well, that was goofy. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen before, where it was just a single block of water without like a whole extra body around it. Sure made for quite the nuisance for no reason. Ooh, hey, some lapis. Oh. I do not know what that noise was. But it sure was spooky. And seems to have vanished. We might be coming across something that we definitely don't want to be getting into. As a piratey folk, I'm better equipped for adventures out in the ocean, not dealing with monsters of the deep of the earth. Well, thankfully that appears to be the end of my pickaxe, so we'll call it an end to this session underground for the time being, and head back up to our starting camp and see what we've been able to get as far as supplies go. Oh, I hear a pig. Piggly Wiggly. Okay. Well, no creepers, nothing, no lava that we ran into, no terrible things hiding out in the down below, so far, so good. Go ahead and get back into our safe hold and check out the things we got. So as usual, getting a lot of pebbles, I guess, is what they call cobblestone when you're a pirate. Also got a little bit of rough steel. I like that. Lapis is Losward. I'm not even entirely sure how to pronounce that. Yeah, this pirate language setting was definitely the way to go for this. So we'll get a few things smelting. be able to bullion o steel. I don't think I'm gonna stop being amused by all these piratey terms. We're gonna need another chest soon too. We're starting to get a nice little supply here. Alright. I think that'll do things, so again we'll kind of build up our supply of things a little bit for a while. Get some better tools now that we've got some iron, or what was it? Bullion o steel. In fact, I'll get my better axe right off the bat. I'm gonna want that. Hatchet o steel. Chunko fuel. Just fun. But yeah, we got some nice supplies, so next time we'll go out and chop a lot of trees and get things going for kind of building up a little town area around here, and ultimately build a nice ship off in the distance, get a couple of ships out of harbor here. But yeah, hope everyone's as excited about this piratey theme as I am. Got my cutlass going, yahar. I probably better get a better cutlass if I'm going to be a real pirate after all. But thanks everyone who was able to come in and watch and kick things off. Hopefully we'll be able to last in this theme for a while before inevitably I die of something stupid, but that won't happen because of course I definitely know what I'm doing. So again, this has been Crake and Bake. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you have a great rest of your day. And again, hopefully I'll have another time I'm able to get on soon. Schedule continues to be sporadic as the rest of my life schedule continues to be sporadic, but keep an eye on the stream. I do have a Twitter as well where I try to post a little before I come on, so feel free to keep an eye on things. And otherwise, thanks again and have a great one.